Games, board games and other games, it's what I'm talking about, yeah. All sorts of games, but I'm not gonna shout. There will soon, there will soon be a new thing from me, a live action role RPG. And I guess that's what I'm trying to say. That's making a new experience for people to play. It doesn't matter if you've done something similar because it's got new elements that feature in all sorts of games. Is what I'm talking about. All sorts of games, and I'm not gonna shout. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good whatever it is, wherever you are. I am Bez. It's 10 a.m. UK ish, and time for Busy Beats and Boards Game Blether. And so, this topic is very much inspired by my big task for the next week, which is making a LARP. And hello, Matt, it is lovely to see you. I was delighted to see the photos of your balloon, and I'm excited to see how it changes over the forthcoming weeks. I feel like, you know what, if you were to take a photo every day, it would could kind of be like a stop motion video of this balloon very slowly deflating over the course of a month or however long. But yeah, look, what all I'm saying today is that even if you've done a party game, it doesn't mean that you're necessarily going to find it easier to do a strategy game. Like a new creative endeavor, sure, there are things that can translate. The creative process, whether you're doing a painting or whether you're making a game or you're writing an article, you've got the same sense of needing to do the things, getting over your sense of perfectionism, trying to just get it out there. These are things in common for sure. But there are always new skills to learn. I mean, even within word games, I've made tens of word games at this point and quite a few speed games as well. But if I want to make a new one, I've still got to think about, okay, for this game, how do I do it? And there will be new things to think about. But of course, I've developed systems to try and isolate in my mind what the key feature is, trying to work out the priorities, trying to work out what is essential to the game, what doesn't need to be there. And this is all part of it. But then, right now, I'm trying to make a LARP. I've never made a LARP before. It's so bloomin' scary. I am scared of it, and that's all I'm saying. Good morning, Ian. It's lovely to see you. Today, as is usual on Friday, will be a very quick show. So, firstly, recent highlights, living life and seeing the sights, recent highlights, playing games I'd already liked. Quickly, just want to say, yesterday, Chris and I stuffed about 50 envelopes, I want to say, and I gave them all to the post office this morning. They should be very soon on their way to people within the UK. Maybe arriving, I don't know, Tuesday, Wednesday next week, something like that. Or second class because there's a big price difference. But yes, people who supported my Kickstarter, thank you very much. I think there was one to, yeah, Matt in the chat, which I totally forgot about when I saw you, and I was like, oh, I could have just given you this at UK Games Expo, but clearly I didn't because I didn't mark you off my list. But anyway, that is definitely my recent highlights. And of course, brilliant thing, what's the latest thing which is brilliant? I want to say that whilst, yes, trying a new thing, a new creative endeavor is scary, and there are new challenges, I think that it's worth taking on those new challenges because I think it's always worth trying to push yourself to do something new, trying to expand your possibilities. And when you do creative things, any new thing that you try is almost like a new source of inspiration. If your primary thing is writing, and then you go off and make music, that act of making the music can feed into your writing. Similarly, even though my primary thing is making games that hopefully will be mass produced and people will buy. By making this LARP that literally cannot be mass produced, and I don't get any. My only expectation and hope is that people have fun with it on the one time that it's actually being played at this festival. But that will potentially feed back and make me a better rounded person. So that's it. Obviously, as always, comments, ask questions from like follow. Speaking of which, Ian says, sorry I never got to annoy you at Expo. You know what? I didn't have the time or energy either. Like UK Games Expo 2021, by think, it was just relatively quiet and I was able to pop over, you were able to pop over. But I think that unless we see each other at a smaller convention, it's just not going to happen. Maybe Tabletop Scotland. Maybe we can annoy each other then. In case anyone's wondering, there is this, that's what the beeping is. Hello Jess, it's lovely to see you. I assume that this isn't just a boast. Okay, you ate a red chili. Well, you know what? They say that water doesn't make it less hot. Have some milk if you need to. Anyway, you don't need to eat chilies for me. I don't force anyone. And yes, 2021 and 2022 were very different. So back to the main topic. I am making this LARP, and I didn't manage to write all the character sheets for today. I was hoping to make something that could be even playtested, even though we don't normally playtest big things like that. And I was thinking, okay, what do I do? And there's this sense of fear. There's this sense of, what if it's not good enough? Because especially when it's part of a festival and it's meant to be like 8 people have signed up to actually play it, which for me is kind of scary. And as I was saying before, that sense of, okay, I just need to do it. I need to do the first draft. That's the important thing. Don't care if it's bad. And then once I've done the first draft, then work on it, try to improve it. And then after I've done that, hopefully I can improve it even more and make it something not just average, but actually really good. Fingers crossed. But there are going to be skills to learn. There are going to be mistakes made. And that's the thing. Maybe that's okay, because what is important, ultimately, the thing that's most important is that people who had some sort of expectation of my LARP, which for the record, it's called Dungeons and Therapy. It's kind of a subversion of Dungeons and Dragons, where it's kind of talking about, hey, what if these people actually weren't as they appear? What if the rogue wasn't just stealing things of value, but had an obsession to steal straws and things that they have no value? And but yeah, that's it. It's scary, but it has to be done. And that's my rant for today. That is pretty much the end of the show. And so back to the comments. Jess says, off to Jungle Drag. Thank you very much for the love. I really appreciate that. And thank you, Matt. Oh, Jess, you don't need to fight over me. This is ridiculous. And Matt says, yep, I'm not eating a red chili for Bez. That burns. How Bez? Kleptomaniacs take things, literally. Yep, they sure do. Look, that's the point. You make a thing and it's good, and you could make a slightly better thing. Like the things that I made for UK Games Expo 2021, I've got ideas for a game about counting cats, shapes and colours that keeps getting trickier to improve it, and that's worth doing. But also, sometimes it's worth doing things badly. As Richard Simpson of War Not Wizards fame wrote, you can't do your 50th thing without doing your first thing. And I do have some prior experience, but it is not going to be great. And that's okay. And that's what it all comes down to. So just do the thing, get out of your comfort zone. And this is as much for me as it is for anyone watching. Just do the thing, we can do it. And even if it's bad, it still has value. So Lots of love to all of you. Like on. So, question of the day. Question of the day. Here's a little question before we go on our way. So, my question of the day is: when was the last time that you feel like you did something scary? I mean, obviously, making the LARP is kind of scary for me right now, but yeah, I'm trying to think. Other than that, when was the last time that I did something that scared me a wee bit? Because it's something new, and I yeah, I'm trying to honestly like the other time that I can think of is the first time that I messaged um, a press person for UK Games Expo 2022. While that sounds like a really normal thing to do, like even though I've done it many times before, it's like, oh, this is kind of scary, reaching out to people, and then you do it, and then you've done it, and then you do it again, then you've done it again, and so yeah, that I know it sounds like a trivial thing, but when was the last thing you did something that scares you? Also, over to you. What you're up to, you can share what's only if you want to. So let's see. Do. Ian says, I'm taking on a part in a theatre production. That's amazing. That sounds really exciting. Have you never done acting before? Congratulations on putting yourself out there. Just as a quick question, I will allow it. Do you like raw chilies? Not generally. I generally prefer to eat cooked chilies. That's what I'm going to go with. Bruno says that one roller coaster in the Efteling a few months ago. Congratulations on putting yourself out there, and I hope that was really exciting. Jess says probably the last time I confronted someone who freaks out when I confront them. So kind of yeah, as a teacher, as a friend, as a decent human, you care about when people might be freaking out. Although I think I'm quite over being nervous about that now. Good. Eating salad rolls in my office first week. Okay, not in 20 years, and this is semi-professional. Oh wow! So Ian is back in the theatrical gig after 20 years. Congratulations. Um, and yeah, well done on getting back to teaching. I hope you're having a great time. And oh, it's a roller coaster in the dark. That does sound fantastic. Well, it's been really nice to hear about that. And if anyone else wants to share anything about what they're up to, otherwise, I'm going to recap and wrap up before we finish up. So, to recap and wrap up, I do things. And if you do similar things, it's likely to be better. If you do totally different things, yeah, sure, it's likely to be worse. But those totally different things are still worth doing. Put yourself out there, try a new thing, and it's okay if the thing is bad. That's all I'm saying. So if you want to check me out, then I am Stuff by Bez at bigcardle.com for my shop. Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube, all the places. If you want to check out my streams, I am there. I might be doing a bit of traveling, but I'll be continuing my 10 a.m. streams. Please share, spread the word. Thank you very much, everyone, for being part of this. And just says, not like I eat them every day or anything. Bad for the moving illness, though, not being able to see where you're going. Oh, yeah, yeah. I can imagine that must be problematic if you get motion sickness. But so much love, everyone, and as always, bye, 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 bye. This is a goodbye song to do. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye, 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 bye. This is the end of the show. Bye, 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 bye. And now it's time to go. I'm off to playtest. I'll tell you all about it tomorrow. And yeah, I might do an unboxing. But bye, 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 bye. This is a goodbye song. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye, 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 bye. This is the end of the show. Bye, 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 bye. And now it's time to go. Bye bye, everyone. Bye bye.